For the Kings fans to have this team to root for, I mean, could it
Oh,
be any better?
and I think everybody,
could it be
look,
better?
I
mean,
think
it's
everybody's
amazing.
shocked that they're at this moment right now.
Mike Brown, I mean, like I just mentioned, like you're mentioning Len minutes, right? Like I mentioned how, Mitchell defended and all these bench guys, Trey Lyles all year is sensational. Malik Monk, spark plug, making defensive plays, blocking shots. Mike Brown, at the end of the day, he's going to get named Coach of the Year this week after the Coaches Association already named him Coach of the Year with their own award. It speaks to the job he did coaching this team to position his players to have this success and pulling the right cards like an Alex Len in the first half, but not the second half. It really is a testament to his coaching and how the players have executed that plan.
It also speaks to the level of continuity that this team has been able to have this year. And we have talked so many times about the value of continuity. How many minutes do you get to play with each other as a group? And for the most part, this team has been outrageously healthy this year. And it just gives you rep after rep after rep. And so this group, you're not playing a million guys. All those guys have this incredible familiarity with each other. And I think what we're seeing in many cases now is a lot of teams that it's kind of thrown together. And sometimes it looks better than other times, right? So we're obviously later we're going to talk about the Suns and the Clippers. But there was a moment where I'm watching and I'm like, I mean, these five guys on the court sure haven't logged a lot of minutes together when you're talking about KD only being there for X amount of time and getting used to it. But then you look at the other side and it's like, how many minutes, honestly, have Eric Gordon, Russell Westbrook, and Kawhi Leonard played together? And those are the ones making the plays. But it's just, we know who we are. We know what we go to. We know where everybody's going to be on these certain plays. And, before this series, I said I thought that if there was anybody I wanted to draw up a scouting report against the Golden State Warriors, Mike Brown's right at the very top of that list for certain. And the scouting report is held up. And most importantly, this is the shocking thing. The defense has held up.
Yeah.
Because that was all of the analysis. It was the Warriors have their guys back. Now Wiggins is going to be back in the lineup. And you're just not winning with a bottom 10 in the league defense. And in fact, you are winning with the bottom 10 in the league defense when that defense has played at the level that it has played thus far through 2 games.
Absolutely. I mean, no doubt about it. I think that Kings defense looks well prepared. They're executing the game plan. And granted that there's moments, Sabonis, who's, not an unbelievable interior defender, not a deterrent around the basket, but his rebounding and some of the help defense on the perimeter showing his fluidity, that has been valuable against this Warriors offense. And for Golden State, if Steph Curry's not on the floor, he's a +3 in this game. He's a plus in game 1. If Steph Curry's not on the floor, they're just disastrous. And that speaks to Jordan Poole, who had one of the absolute worst passes I've seen of the entire season with that cross-court righty hook to the corner that just sailed 20 feet high out of bounds.
They call it the anti-Jokic.
Dude. Poole is an absolute mess right now because with him, he averages 20 this year. Last year, he's great for a stretch, scoring the heck out of a ball. The issue with him is his playmaking has not developed. And on defense, this guy's an absolute liability. And he's got a big max contract coming up when right now he's getting benched in a game 2 in the first round. Crazy. I mean, it's a problem for Golden State that he has not come along this season for the Warriors.
Well, one of the things that I thought about as I was watching this unfold tonight was for all of their defensive issues throughout the year. And look, a little bit's overstated because they clearly are the 3 seed because they could outscore you. Even if you wanted to look at their defensive numbers and they weren't that impressive, they could still outscore you. And that's how they were able to accumulate the amount of wins that they did. But when I was watching tonight, I thought, there are many ways in which they are uniquely equipped with what they do bring to the table defensively to deal with the Warriors. Because the big problem with Sacramento is there's only one guy who's having to battle everybody down there, and they don't have the rim protection. They don't have, you watch a lot of these games, and there's somebody in there that's really protecting the rim, that if you're driving to the basket, you're meeting somebody. And that's not what Sacramento brings to the table, but that doesn't kill you when the other team doesn't drive. I mean, and
that's true.
Who's putting pressure on the rim?
Nobody.
For Golden State.
Nobody. I mean, Steph will get into the lane, but he's not drawing a ton of fouls or dunking over people. Wiggins is not that guy. They don't have anybody who does that.
Nobody's putting pressure on the rim, and that's where Sacramento's defensive problems will show up, is when you can put pressure when your points on the paint team.
Like next round, whether it's the Lakers or the Grizzlies, right?
They're putting pressure on the rim.
Yes, and that's where the Sabonis problem becomes apparent, and that's potentially where that could lead to the demise of the Kings in the postseason. But this round against the Warriors, his flaws don't matter as much, and considering the way the Warriors play and their personnel. And
that's
for
right.
Golden State moving forward in this series, you're down 0-2 for the first time in the Steph Curry era. You have a chance now with Steph, Draymond, and Klay Thompson that they could lose in the first round together. And Steve Kerr over the days off here is going to be searching for answers. If you're Golden State here, I feel like, watching these games, they're good. They got talent, but doesn't it feel like the Kings just have so many more ways to generate offense through different sources, whether it's Fox on the break, whether it's Sabonis, DHOs, Kevin Huerter off the bounce or coming off of off-ball actions. It's up and down the roster, they have ways to attack you. Malik Monk and the Warriors, we just mentioned Poole, who's been absolutely horrific. Other than Steph and Wiggins and Draymond, Klay's not even getting by Sabonis when he's been defending him a lot of the time. It's just not a lot of options for the Warriors right now.
Yeah, and there was a segment in this game where, and I've covered a ton of Warriors playoff games throughout this entire era that they've had, different incarnations of teams that have played against them. And there was a segment in the third quarter where I'm saying to my television, oh no, because Sacramento had all the momentum in the world. They go up 81-67. So they're up 14 points with 3 minutes left to go in this quarter, 3:20 left. P.S. They've been in the bonus for the last 8 minutes, basically. And they come down as they're up 14, and they go, Monk missed 3, Lyles missed 3, Fox missed 3. Monk then drives to the basket, layup, gets bumped by Draymond in what should have been his 5th foul.
Can't put him away at this point.
And then they come back down, and Fox misses another 3.
Yep. Warriors battle back.
And you look up, and it's 83-79.
Yep.
By the time that they're, and the only 2 points they've scored are Sabonis free throws. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the young team. This is we don't know how to do this yet. But those possessions, it doesn't seem like much of the time, but you've got them down, you're up 14, and they just kept settling and kept settling and kept settling against a team that was in the bonus. It's the difference between a young team and a veteran team. It's the difference between a team that's got 1 million playoff games under their belt versus this is our first time through it. And I mean, thank goodness it did not come back to haunt them. But how many times have we seen that exact thing happen, and the Warriors just keep playing, keep plugging away, and then you look up and it's like, oh my God, your lead is gone, and now you're dead.
Well, how about even late in the fourth quarter, you got back-to-back possessions where Klay Thompson hits three-pointers. How many times over the years have we seen Klay Thompson hit big threes to either close, a deficit, which he did in that case from 101-95 to 102-101, or take a lead over the years? And this is now 2 games in a row the Kings have shown resilience. Anytime the Warriors have battled back, made the runs that they always do, and not once have they folded. And that again, a testament to the players in that locker room with their mindset, their collective buy-in, and the coaching staff as well. This Kings team, regardless of how far they go, maybe they lose this series, maybe they lose next round, maybe they go all the way and win the finals. Who knows? Regardless of how far they go, for the Kings fans to have this team to root for, I mean, could it be any better?
And I think everybody,
could it be better?
I mean, everybody's shocked that they're at this moment right now, that they are up 2-0. But, and it's one of the things we talked about a lot of times. It's like, does the regular season matter? Whole season, they were better. They were better.
Yeah, they were all year.
Here's the dirty little secret. They're better on the road.
Yes.
Their defense has been better on the road.
You're right.
They've been better on the road this year than they even were at home. Now, we know Golden State couldn't win road games the entire season.
11-30 on the year on the road.
So we probably shouldn't be that surprised. Now, look, you'd imagine that they've been amazing at home.
33-8, which is a win percentage of 80.5, a 66 win rate.
You don't want to make any wild declarations until, they're down, until the Kings can win a game on the road. Because the Warriors, it's, you hear it every time they play. They've won 27 consecutive games on the road. But I told you this before we recorded tonight, before the game, earlier tonight. I told you, I said, look, I pay attention to football betting all the time. And I said, most of the time, if I see like 80, 90%, it's just auto bet because that percentage of people don't win. And I saw one of the sites put up that 90% of the bets that they had taken in were on the Warriors tonight. And I said, you would think that the Warriors would just bounce back in game 2. But if 90% of the people are betting on it, that's probably a loser. And sure enough, once again, turned out to be a loser. And we need to keep this in mind. The Kings, who have a very, very dynamic offense, they just shot 24% from 3 on high volume.
and yet
won the game.
Yep.
They went 9 of 38 and won the game.
Says a lot.
It really does.
Yep.
It really does. Just an unbelievable effort. And that whole scene, they started to take care of the ball better, later in the game. That first quarter was just an absolute mess. But as the game went on, they were able to take care of it. Obviously, look, Draymond got thrown out of that game.
And Sabonis is getting X-rays, according to Woj. Which, I'm sure he's fine.
That was messed up.
Yeah, that was a reckless play by Draymond. Reckless. I mean, look, at that point in the game, yes, Sabonis instigated by grabbing at you. You got to have some self-control, man. The Warriors are getting back. You're closing the lead. Steph's got the ball in his hands, and you do that. Just dumb. Really a dumb play.
And he always does it in a way where he can get away with it. Like, I'm saying where his explanation, he will find morons out there to defend him and act like he wasn't meaning to do that. I was just trying to get my balance. That's just where my foot came down, whatever. Like, bro, he totally stomped him. He stomped the guy. He lost his mind and he stomped the guy.
Yep.
Because he was mad in the moment. His temper flared and he stomped the guy.
It added all to the fun of the drama of that night.
It does. It does. There's no question.
Yelling at the crowd.
Yeah.
Guy's a maniac. I love it.
How amazing does this make game 3?
Oh, yeah, for sure.